Pretty much what I wanted to do was it kind of explained like the whole turbo noise thing, the whole fluttering of the turbo oil to the sound. But I wanted to go over how I do it in my car and like kind of why it does it and how it does actually affect your turbo in the long run when it comes to longevity of the turbo. So yeah, we'll just get straight into disassembling the car and then I'll explain further when we get to that point. Alright, so with my car, if you didn't know already, just to go ahead and if you take the headlights out, it's only 2 bolts, or 2 screws I should say, right here and right here on both sides. And that's like the first step you need to do to really taking off the bumper. Alright, so to take care of the whole top section here, after you've taken care of the headlights, you just have to disconnect a couple screws and a couple clips on the top. The first screw is right here, there's the next one, and then there's this clip, that screw, this clip, this screw, and then this screw right here. So after you're done with those, you'll need to move to the Is that good? Oh my god. That was the traction control on. Oh my lord. Oh! God. Yep. Alright, so before we got distracted with Matt fucking throwing a show, you have to disconnect the quick release for the hood, and that's super easy. All you need to do is push the mechanism down here and then manage to pull the cable. It's not very good lighting, but you pull this cable, the end of it, it's knobbed here. You pull it out of this little hole in the mechanism. So you just gotta push it forward and pull it out, and then the cable should just pop out just like that. But make sure not to close your hood when this is disconnected, because it sucks. To try to get it back open, trust me, it sucks. Alright, so pretty much before you can move on with taking the bumper off, there's a couple screws that you have to take off in the wheel well here. There's one right, it's right here where I'm pointing. Just know it's right here, up, right there. A clip up in the top to hold these two, the fender and the bumper pieces together. And I believe, yeah, there's another one down here that you have to take off as well. And then that will completely separate the fender well from the bumper. And then just repeat that on the other side. Alright, so a big part of the taking off the bumper are these 2 clips. That's why you have to take the headlights off. There's a clip right here on this side of the bumper. And you want to, hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. You're going to want to take this section right here and just, oh, never mind. Completely cut that out.
Dude, I'm moving dealerships. It's the Lake Elsinore one. It's a Jeep, Dodge, Chrysler.
Alright, so for the bottom, that's probably the last part we need to do before the bumper can come off. There's going to be 2 screws on the bottom part here, right in front of where the wheel is. There's 2 screws, one on the inside and one on the outside of the bumper here. And then if you still have your splash guard on, there's about like 5 or 6, but I took mine off just because I work on my car a lot, so I didn't want to have to take it off. But yeah, you just unscrew all the screws to that thing, and then the bumper should just come off. So now, just grab the outside here, pull the edge, it comes right out. And then there's these 2 clips right here.
I remember like a couple weeks ago, I went up to LA and picked up from me.
There's that one. And then over here. The bumper should just slide off. The right time. Alright, so this is my blow-up valve, and it's right next to my intercooler right here in the front bumper, like where the front bumper would go. So pretty much what I have to do is I have to undo this hose clamp and undo the hose clamp back here for where the elbow secures to the couplers, and then replace it with this. And pretty much what this is going to do is it's going to eliminate the blow-off valve from the turbo system, therefore making it sealed. And when a turbo system is sealed and doesn't have a blow-off valve, that is the flutter noise you're hearing, is the compressed air surging back into the turbo, even when it's still being compressed by the compressor. So it could do long-term damage on your actual compressor wheel, and that's why it's not really recommended. But it sounds really cool.
There we go.
So much.
That's what I'm saying. She was so like, even when she like her exact kind of thing, she was so like, all she did was like, oh, you know, I didn't want, you know, I didn't cheat and all this shit. I did not expect that from her.
No,
like, no, from a coworker.
I made her feel so bad.
I hope so.
How much you want to put on it? I was like, I don't want to put money on it, bro.
Like, we just having fun.
I was like, you're a 3 and a 2 liter.
Yeah.
I was like, no, you was.
Okay, so I got everything back together. So only thing left to do is start it up. So I'm gonna do that right now.
Capable car here. See, but that's really only.
Just give me some liner.
So Trey, what's in your bumper?
That's your phone.
So pretty much what we did was like I said earlier, we sealed the whole turbo system, creating no escape for the boost pressure while the turbine is still spinning. So it's kind of hard to hear probably on the camera just because we don't have like a good mic or anything right now. It's really last minute. It's like 1 o'clock right now and we're all tired. I had to work today and we really want to get out of here, so we just kind of did it real quick. Hopefully it served justice. I mean, I could hear it in the car. It sounded really, really cool. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that if you're trying to run it for a long time because it's not good for your turbo. It really isn't. So like I said, I just wanted to do it just to see what it would sound like and have a little fun. But if anybody's interested, this is a blow-off valve. It's a Turbo Smart blow-off valve. It's a Turbo Smart blow-off valve. I used it not too long, so I'm gonna be putting it up for sale. $100, $120, I don't know. But yeah, just hit me up if you're interested. But yeah, that's how to get turbo flutter in your I guess Focus ST or pretty much any turbo car. That's literally what you have to do. Seal off the entire boost system and you'll have your flutter. But one of the main reasons why I was able to do this is because it is big turbo and the factory turbo the blow-off valve is integrated in the intake housing, so you have to use something like this that bolts up to the actual turbo. But with my setup, the new Garrett turbo didn't come with it. The bypass valve or blow-off valve in the intake housing. You have to get a whole new atmospheric blow-off valve, or you can do 50-50. But yeah, that was the main reason I was able to do this. But hopefully you could hear it and actually get to enjoy the great noises that turbo cars make. God damn it.
I can't believe that shit.
Did you say heroin?
Shut up, Matt.
Cocaine.